Hello and welcome to the United Community Channel. This is your match reaction fan forum for Manchester United versus Wolves. United 1, Wolves 0. And, oh man, a lucky escape, I would say. A lucky escape. But yeah, we're going to get into it all, guys. Make sure you do get your thoughts and comments into the comment section. Again, I will say, anybody who wants to join, who is an official member of the channel, I do see some of them are in the chat there. Graham, Owen, Party Pooper, Mark, if you want to come on live like Oisín here, if you go to the community tab on the homepage of my YouTube channel, the link is there. You can come and join us and get involved and all that. Chris is in as well with us. Welcome to Oisín and to Chris, two of the longer standing members of the channel. So, I mean, look, and of course, guys, if you're not joining us on screen, get your thoughts into the comment section below and we'll go through it. But first and foremost, I want to start off with, talking about the lack of intensity more than anything else, and the fact that United, we look so flat. You know what I mean? I'll go to you, Oisín. Is there any reason in particular you would put that down to? You know what I mean? Because you would expect Wolves to have a tough preseason like we had.
The only thing you put it down to is the first game of the season and just kind of feeding each other out. Preseason is one thing, but it doesn't have the same intensity of a Premier League match. Wolves have that new manager bounce, which we had so much of last season, and Gary O'Neill is going to drill. He's going to have a well-drilled defense. I mean, Bournemouth were really hard to beat last year when they were at home. So I look, it's the first game of the season. We've won it 3 points. Puts us ahead of Liverpool, which is a good enough thing for me at the moment. So I'm trying to stay positive, but it's a lot of stuff that happened tonight are kind of making it hard for me to be too positive. Tonight, but it's a long season. There's still 37 games left to play.
Yeah, I mean, if we're talking positives, then I mean, anything in particular stand out for you?
The back five, both of the back fives. When Martinez went off, he replaced by Lindelof. We didn't seem to drop off.
Yeah.
Okay, there was a lot of balls that didn't quite come off. We were trying them. Sancho was a huge. I mean, look, I would have been one of the more vocal critics of Sancho last season.
Yeah.
See Chris nodding away furiously there, and I think tonight when he came on, he was the difference. He seemed up for it. He seemed sharp in preseason.
Yeah.
He seemed sharp tonight. So he would definitely be positive. And yeah, I mean, the back, as I said, the back five is a unit, and Onana behind the back four was huge tonight.
Yeah,
huge. Without him, it could have been 3 or 4-0 to Wolves.
Absolutely. Chris, and add to that, any positives for you, or what stood out for you, Anthony, in particular?
I mean, positives. I mean, we'll go to the positives first, like you said. Positive, Sancho coming on as a sub. I mean, Garnacho looked like he thought someone should have handed him something instead of working for it. I think the biggest thing is, my biggest positive is Onana on the back. He's a difference maker. I mean, not only just playing the ball, but how he comes off the line. I mean, no offense to David De Gea, but he would have still been pointing at people to head the ball out and be like, no, you go, and everything. And some of the things that he made, some of the coming out and sliding through Shaw and everything like that would have been. Would have been. I mean, David De Gea would have still been hugging the post like he always did, and just waiting for someone else to do something. I mean, I think that's the biggest key. But like you said, Jack, it was just flat. And like Oisín said, like first game of the season, last time we played was last Saturday, so you're off 9 days until you play, which. That could be a little bit of a detriment because you got to wait all the way through Monday, and then, but even then, I mean, you're playing your opening night in Old Trafford, like you got to get up for this game, like, and the new manager bounce. I don't know about that. I mean, he just got appointed 4 days ago. But, I mean, he's basically told the guys, hey, we just need to go out and give max effort, and that's what they did.
Yeah,
they gave the effort, we didn't. At this point, and everything like that.
Yeah. I go down through some of the comments here because I have a couple of pointers I want to go through as well. Let's see what people are saying here. A lot of people stressed out after the first match. Graham says, I think Onana got away with one too. Oh, let's talk about that before we go any further. I mean,
Stonewaller.
we're surely all in agreement that was a Stonewall penalty.
Yeah. But I could also say that the penalty when Casemiro is trying to shield the ball to go outside, Nunez just tackles through him. Doesn't touch the ball, tackles through him, and then takes the ball. Like there's bad refereeing all the way around. I mean, but it should have been a penalty. It really should have.
Absolutely. Mark says 3 points to notoriously slow starters. More to do. Party Pooper says wasn't what I was expecting from this game. Could be a long season. I'm not going to get too carried away and too negative. Obviously, we like to keep it as positive as possible here. And I think. Look, I mean, it's 3 points on the board. There's a long way to go. You know what I mean? Jock says, not a very good start. Poor work rate, no real identity as team want to be positive, but that was not our best night. Let's hope it was just a start of season nerves. Graham says, Rashford gone back to his lazy, disinterested self again. I want to talk about Rashford while Graham brings it up there. He's so ineffective through the middle. It's unbelievable. I'll go to you on this, Oshin. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen somebody that just looks the complete opposite of themselves, and in now I know it's probably a huge difference, but to go from playing through the middle to playing on the left, it's like night and day with him.
I put a comment in the chat before it kicked off that if he has to play through the middle a lot this year, he won't score half as much as he scored off the left. And it's funny because a few years ago, he wanted to play through the middle. He wanted to be the main number 9. I just don't think he has the football brain to play as a 9. As I said, as well in the chat, he's the kind of player who plays with his head down. He gets on the ball, runs towards goal, and kicks the ball hard. He's
not good when he's back to goal.
No, he has to be facing goal and running down on it. Yeah. But he was anonymous now. I said it as well in the chat. Did you even call his name 10 times in the second half?
Yeah.
Did he touch the ball 10 times in the second half?
Yeah. Didn't see him at all.
He was very anonymous. But that said, the front 3 before Sancho came on were all anonymous as well. Anthony was out there for 75 minutes, 74 and a half minutes too long, in my opinion. Yeah. But again, they just didn't seem to try too much, the front 3. Garnacho was, I won't say he wasn't trying, but again, they run with their heads down. All those 3 players play the same way. They go with their heads down and they don't get their heads up enough, which hopefully when Hoyland comes in, that'll change. But I think when Hoyland comes in and Rashford goes back out left, we'll see the real Rashford, hopefully.
Please God. Yeah, please God.
I just think that Rashford can't, like Oshin said, he doesn't have the IQ, he doesn't have the instincts to make the runs, how to run behind someone. He likes to run at people and not behind people. And he doesn't have the instincts of a striker to even know if you make the run. Like there's one time that Sancho was coming right next to him and they're running parallel. Like, what are you going to do with you're running parallel. Like, how's he going to play you the ball? Like, even if he goes and plays through and you take the defender away, at least Sancho can go inside or play a ball. He doesn't know how to open space for other players. And that's part of being a striker too, is you gotta make runs off of people. And it's like he's playing on the wing, but he's playing in the middle because he's like trying to stand on the back foot of that defender. So you'll play him through and you just can't do it. And, I just think that I'll be honest, I think Bruno and Mason Mount should be tied at the hip for about a week so that they learn how to find each other because the whole first half, they couldn't find each other.
Yeah. Well, you were
I think they don't know where they're at, where each other are at because I think Mount wants to be up here. Bruno wants to be over here. And then Casemiro's looking in the middle going, where'd everybody go? Because the middle's wide open. Like, you guys can't both go this way. Someone's got to come back. It's just I think they literally need to tie each other at the hip and say, I don't know if you guys watched Ted Lasso where they used the little red string, in that episode. So, it's going to be a problem if they don't learn to, play through the middle between the two of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Honestly, I know Casemiro didn't look good, but I don't think anybody would have looked good with those two guys. They literally went like this. Yeah. And they left the middle wide open for him.
Yeah, absolutely. Lawrence, welcome. First time coming live with us. Good to have you, pal. Met you up in the Sandy Mount Hotel. We had a couple of pints together, so good to see you, pal. I want to just highlight one of these comments here. Kevin says it. He said Casemiro looked very slow, and I thought I was thinking something very similar. I was thinking now he's always well placed, isn't he? He's always well positioned. He wins his tackles very well. He reads the game very well. But he did look a bit did he look a bit overweight to me? I'll ask you, Lawrence, since you're in. What did you make of him?
He did, yeah. He did, yeah.
Yeah. Anything stand out in particular? You know, like is it start of the season? Is it getting up to speed? You know, but I don't know. He looked off the ball to me.
Well, look, did he have longer off than the rest of them? That's the question, like, you know.
Yeah, he looked like he had a couple of sausage suppers throughout.
Never mind.
Yeah, exactly. Oisin, what did you make of it? Like, is it something overly that we have to be overly concerned about, or do you think game or two he'll be up to speed?
It's something I noticed in the Real game as well. He seemed to be slightly off the pace in that game as well.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it's not something we have to worry about. I did see after the Real game he was wearing one of those glucose monitors that I'm conscious about now with the daughter, the diabetes and stuff.
Yeah.
Is that something that might be playing into it? Did we hear anything about that?
Yeah, maybe. Was there somebody saying that they noticed a number of different players with that?
I definitely saw Casemiro wearing it.
Yeah.
But he does look a yard off, and even in that picture that I saw, no, he's never the most toned up players when you think of professional football players.
Yeah,
but he looked a bit softer on the middle. I'll put it politely that way, you know. Like he was carrying a bit of timber, a few bad sausages that he got in Kilkenny from himself, you know.
Too many sausage rolls, you know.
Yeah.
You know, but I think I agree. I think he's a little bit. I think maybe he was hoping Amrabat would come in sooner, so he didn't have to play as much, but.
Yeah,
I had read that a lot of the guys are wearing the glucose monitors and different things like that because Ten Hag's really putting the screws to what they eat and how they you know, it shows, you know, their pace and what they're burning and everything like that. It's part of his fitness routine and everything like that, which is a great thing. But
yeah,
I honestly think, is he soft around the middle? Yeah, but I'll stick by my point that between Bruno and Mount, hanging him out to dry, I mean, he's gonna look bad because I mean, where's your step gonna go to? If you know someone's here on your right side or your left side, then you can maybe move and step up. But if you're kind of like Martinez, like when he almost got a red card because he, you know, tried to. I think he remembered he had a yellow card and he didn't like stop that guy, a professional foul him in the first half. He got caught in the middle, like in no man's land. Like I'm in trouble, you know.
I wonder is that too, Chris, that he was defending Lindelof and Varane because Martinez wasn't there. That maybe he didn't have his usual game because of that. That maybe he was stepping back as well. But
yeah, I mean I just think we're, you know, I know Jack. It's the funny thing of, you know, you don't want to take too much into preseason, you know, because it's guys getting their touches and getting their fitness. But I mean, besides the second half of the Lens game, I don't think we didn't look good at all. Like throughout the preseason, like we looked very disjointed in spurts we looked pretty good here and there, but through all the preseason that I watched, especially since it's here in the US and I got to watch all of it, it wasn't great.
Yeah, you know, well, there was one point to note here that I have a little kind of notepad on my laptop here, and I just type little notes down while I'm watching the game. And I just put down out-muscled today. I thought we were pushed off the ball so easily, especially in the wide areas. You know, our two wing. Now, look, I know Garnacho and Anthony are not, you know, the most physical of players, you know. I thought we were very easily pushed off the ball. Is that a concern going into a Premier League season like this? You know, especially with the first game of the season where, you know, our team's going to say, fucking hell, look how easy these boys were pushed off the ball. Let's get at them.
Mm-hmm.
Would you be worried about that?
I think everybody.
Yeah.
You'd be worried about playing
I'd be more concerned with Anthony. I mean, he's Garnacho's a 19-year-old kid.
Yeah.
Anthony's a 22, 23-year-old Brazilian international. Should have a bit more about him to not be pushed off the ball that easy.
Yeah.
So I would be more concerned about Anthony being pushed off than I would be Garnacho.
Yeah.
Well, Anthony puts in the fight after, even if he gets pushed off, he puts in the fight. But it's just, I mean, we weren't winning 50-50 balls around the pitch anywhere, like for any of them, you know. And it just seemed like, you know, it seemed like our wingers were just waiting to go off to the races, like just play me through and I'm going to run. Just play me through and I'm going to run. Yeah. I mean, Anthony had a couple shots in the beginning, like Jack, you said. I mean, Wolves were blocking everything. Like we couldn't get a shot through the net, you know, and it was just like, but other than that, I was here with my buddy Edmund, and he was saying the same thing. We're not winning any ball, and like we were playing head tennis, like the ball's in the air. No one's bringing the ball down, and it's just like, oh, please stop it. Like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
You know.
Let me get through some of the comments here. Conscious, I want to get people involved as well. Joe says, terrible performance, disgraceful. Can't believe that we only score once against possibly one of the worst teams in the league. Well, I tell you one thing. I know I put them as one of my relegation teams, but after seeing the way Gary O'Neill set them up tonight, I think I'm going to be changing my mind pretty quick. But
agreed.
Let's see what happens. Party Pooper says, I'm absolutely delighted we got 3 points. That's all that matters. Yeah, positivity, absolutely. Jared says, when the new striker comes in and Rashford goes left, we will play better. Aaron says, Bruno was woeful tonight, usually Mr. Consistent. His final ball was terrible. The front three didn't play well at all, but in fairness, they got zero help from the midfield. That's a good point as well. Kevin thinks Mason Mount was iffy out there. Garnacho looked terrible. Yeah, I think Garnacho had one of his poor games now. But again, I mean, we talked about it at the very start of it. You know, I said specifically that obviously he was used as a, you know, primarily off the bench last season. And he's going to have to grow into a starting role if he wants to get into this team. You know what I mean? Because there's going to be the Sanchos that are going to want to take his place. You know, Pellistri looked lively when he came on as well. You know, these guys are not going to sit around and go, all right, your name is Garnacho. I don't give a fuck. I want your position. You know what I mean? So
I mean, you're going to face Nelson Semedos of the world that are you're going to have to do something clever because he's not going to push him off the ball.
Yeah, so, I thought he had a really good game. Yeah, I have to say, I thought he was excellent.
You look at all the other teams that have. I mean, a lot of people have invested in outside backs this year. Yeah. I mean, you know, Malo Gusto. You know, you have all the guys. Like he's gonna. I think he's going to run into some trouble if he keeps starting and keeps playing like this. I mean, it's going to be – you may see the backside of the bench here in a little bit.
Maybe so. Yeah, maybe so. I want to talk about possession really quick because obviously Andre Onana has come in and he has changed instantly the way we're going to be playing football. You know what I mean? We're going to be playing a higher line. We're going to be playing possession base. We're going to be playing out from the back, so on and so forth. We've done an awful lot of that today, but with no real end product. Is there a worry that we're going to be, you know, too obsessed with don't give the ball away, and not obsessed enough with trying to create chances? You know, does that make sense? You know what I mean? Because like we had an awful lot of possession in the opening 10 or 15 minutes, but we done absolutely nothing with it. We barely got out of our own half with it. You know, goalkeeper, centre back, left back, right back, centre mid, back to centre back to goalkeeper. You know, concerned, but any, you know what I mean? What do you think, Oisín?
Like your haircut, short backs and sides. You know, we need to start. we need to start. Look, we had this as well 10 years ago with Van Gaal. It's a very Dutch way of playing football. Keep the ball, no mistakes. Keep the opportunity mistakes to bare minimum. But that's going to stifle our Anthony's, our Sancho's, our Rashford's. So look, it's our first Premier League game with Onana. He did go long a few times as well, though. There was a few times he just put up the yard and put up between them, you know, which
his decision making is very good, I have to say.
Excellent. Absolutely. Yeah. He reads the game so well.
Except for the penalty that he should have given away.
Yeah, okay. Well, one blot, huge blot on his copybook, but a very good Premier League debut for him tonight.
Yeah.
Very happy and very, very hopeful for what he's going to do for this team now going forward.
Yeah.
But it might just be a case we need one more pivot in midfield to play alongside Casemiro just to keep that possession going forward rather than coming back every now and again. Amrabat the man, maybe, who knows? But it just needs another pivot in midfield just to keep that ball moving the right way up the pitch.
We just need a defensive midfielder who can play like Luka Modric. Basically, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think we would all be happy with that, you know. But it's kind of no, but I know like I'm obviously being facetious there, but like it's that link from defense to attack, really, isn't it? You know, Casemiro is the defensive side of the game, and Bruno Fernandes is very much so the attacking side of the game. But it's that link, and I think Mason Mount will eventually be that guy. You know what I mean? Because I think that's what Ten Hag wants him for. You know, he wants him to be able to collect the ball off of the defense. He wants to be able to I mean, you can understand why he was in for Frankie de Jong for so goddamn long, is that he's the best player in the world at progressing the ball up the field, you know. But I think we'll get there. Any other standouts, Chris, in particular, or any concerns, I would say? Is there anything that you've seen tonight that you would say, I'm worried with that? Or is it just, first game jitters?
I can't go with the first game jitters thing because, I mean, seriously, no. I mean, if you want to say we were playing Arsenal first game of the season, you want to say first game jitters, I'll give it to you. But we're playing Wolves, let's be honest. And so, but right now I have a real problem with the way our midfield's set up right now, because even though like Oshin took a little bit of, eat and crow a little bit on, Sancho, I'll take some on Eriksen because I kind of missed him today because he usually sat in that spot where he's going to progress the ball forward. Granted, he doesn't. I mean, we know what he offers forward, going defensively and everything like that, but he was always kind of in the middle where I honestly think, I hope we get Amrabat, because in reading the stats and stuff, he was number one in progressive passes going forward in Serie A last year. So, and sorry, but the other thing is I think that Mount's going to end up playing on the right.
You think so? I
think Mount, at this point, if Amrabat comes in, I think it's going to be Amrabat, Casemiro, and Bruno, and Mount will go out to the right, and he can, and then maybe he can push in a little bit. I just don't know what's going to happen if we do bring in another midfielder, even if it's not Amrabat, but if you bring in another pivot, someone's leaving the field. So, right now, Rashford's even if Sancho comes in to play false nine, Rashford's going out, Garnacho's coming off. And to be honest with you, I think that's probably our best lineup right now, because I don't see why we displaced Rashford, our best player last year, and stick him somewhere he's not comfortable. At least be strong on that side, because let's be honest, we don't have, besides Højlund, we don't have a striker.
Yeah.
We really don't. So why not play our best player in the best position that he has, and then kind of take a hit with everything else at that point, Yeah. So, because the other thing is, if you tried Sancho all preseason at the false nine and he looked pretty good, and then all of a sudden you just abandon it, then why'd you even do it? Like, that's my problem.
Are you questioning Erik ten Hag?
Yes, I am.
Let me get down through some of the comments here. We'll see what people are saying. Kevin says Sancho needs to start against Spurs Saturday and needs to sit Mason out for Eriksen. I thought Eriksen gave us nothing when he came on, I have to say. Pushed off the ball, gave it away a couple of times. He didn't have a good preseason either. Benny says Garnacho was marked by two players. He was, in fairness, your man, I can't remember his name at right full, had a right game. But one of their central midfielders was dropping into the inside channel, wasn't he?
Yes.
It was basically stopping Garnacho coming in on his right-hand side and doubling up on him all the time. Mm-hmm. Bazinga says, great username, by the way, Anthony is a liability. His non-committal to a tackle will leave the likes of Martinez picking up more cards. And I wanted to come on to Anthony, not on the defensive side, more so on his attacking side. And I keep saying it, decision-making with Anthony just has to improve. I'll go to you on this one, Lawrence. What did you make of? Were you happy with him, or what would you like to see more out of him in the upcoming season?
I would have started Sancho, to be fair. on the right.
Yeah.
Anthony, I don't know, he wasn't at the races last season. It looks like he's not going to be at them this season. He scored, 2 goals all last season?
8.
Yeah. How many did he have? He got maybe 7. Was it 7 goals?
7 or 8. 11 in all comps.
11 in all competitions. Right.
They're all
Okay.
the same type of goal, cutting in on the left and shooting to the far corner.
Yeah. And look, Oisin, we've talked about him an awful lot over the last 12 months or so. Well, of course, since he signed. Did you see anything from him today that would say he's improving or he's going in a different direction? Or because we all know what direction he does go, and that's inside on his left.
I'm just wondering, did his right foot make it through customs last year?
Oh my God, I know.
I mean, seriously, I mean, he just doesn't have a right foot. And I said it last year, try him on the left, let him beat a man and whip across in, because everyone knows what he's going to do now. He's not. Anytime the team sheet is published and his name is on it, the left full I'm just going to step inside every time because I know where you're going to go. Because when you go down outside me, you're going to come back to left anyway. So I'm just going to step inside and stop you cutting across.
Yeah.
I know we said that. I know we said last year a lot that he still has another season to go, but his decision making with a full preseason under Ten Hag, he has a lot more to do to convince me. I know it's only been one game, but he still has that one trick coming into his left, and everyone knows what he's going to do, and it's not going to surprise anyone. Yeah. And Chris said Wolves are one of the poorer teams in the league. On that one, I can't agree with him on tonight's performance, but it might work up against Luton. You know what I mean? Those kind of newly promoted teams might work, but anyone who's in the Premier League last year know exactly what he's going to do, and anyone who's been watching him and analysing him are going to know what he's going to do. So it might be time to try him somewhere else, a different position, or bring him on as an impact when the defense are tired and they can't come with him. That'd be my opinion.
I think. I mean, I'll be honest. I mean, I'm a fan, but I mean, I don't. My question is, and a friend of mine brought it up to me. He goes, "How many goals did Anthony score ever in Eredivisie?" I think the total was 8 in one season. So he scored 11 in all comps. So he did better than he did ever. I don't know what everybody expects him to score. Like, I don't know. I mean, I'm not. I'll defend him to a point of, you know, I honestly think Mount's going to go to the right and Anthony's going to come in as an impact player. I mean, again, we'll throw this out there for the last time. We paid way too much for him. We all know that.
Oh yeah, of course.
But at the same time, like he didn't come from the Dutch league scoring 15, 20 goals. He never scored double-digit goals in the Dutch league. So I don't know what we really expected him to come to the Prem, and all of a sudden now he's going to be a 15-goal scorer. But I just
is it just me though, or like has Sancho played really well anytime he's played on the right for us, or am I imagining that?
You know what? I think that there's a little bit of fire in him, you know, and he's like tonight he played some nice little clever tricky balls, you know, into Rashford into here trying to do something. You know, I think he's playing a lot faster than he was last year. Last year, when he got the ball, it came to a complete stop when it came to Sancho last year. Now I think, as Lawrence said, I think he should have started on the right, to be honest. The way he played in preseason, I thought Sancho probably was going to start, even though Ten Hag likes to stick with his guys, and maybe Anthony needs to sit for a while to learn, hey, I'm not going to be a full-time starter unless I do something different.
Yeah. Well, like the one thing I would say now, and I know it's only game week 1 is only done. If you give me Highland fully fit now and you ask me what's your front three next week, I would say Highland, Rashford, and Sancho. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That would be my front three.
I honestly think you're going to see the best out of Sancho because, and I said this last year, when Sancho had his best year, he played, and I know it's the goal machine. He played with Erling Haaland at Dortmund because he was whipping crosses into a striker.
Yeah.
So if we actually have a number 9 that he can whip crosses into or cross to.
By the way, right, and I said it during the live, did you see Rasmus Highland sitting beside?
Oh, he's a big kid.
Holy fuck.
He's a big hooker.
He's a monster.
He's 6'6", almost 6'3", they say. You know,
I can't wait to see him play.
Is that tall or wide, Chris?
Oh man,
No, he's almost
he
6'3",
looked like
he's
Tom
basic.
Heaton is a big man as well, and he like the size of his arms beside Heaton just dwarfed him nearly. You know what I mean? It was mental to see.
He's a Viking. What do you expect?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Or they're going to start playing the TikTok Viking music every time he comes onto the screen, or every time he comes on. But no, he's I mean, they say he's pacey too. Like he's not slow-footed.
Oh, I've seen clips of him on YouTube, and he does look lightning. In fairness to him,
so I'm excited for him. I just hope sooner than later.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I still think we need to sign I hope we get someone on loan. Somebody. I'm not Val, but someone else.
Jack Mehoff.
There we go.
There we go. Right, man of the match, Chris.
Onana.
Oisin.
Onana.
Lawrence.
Onana.
Brilliant.
You?
What do you want to see more of next week, Chris? In the next game?
Better holding midfielders.
Okay. Oisin?
More cohesiveness back to front.
Okay. Lawrence?
I'd like to try and get Eriksen, Mount, Bruno, and Casemiro on that midfield. Drop Anthony out.
Wow.
Okay.
Eriksen playing in that double pivot.
Lawrence,
He's playing attacking football.
Lawrence makes a good point because did you see how Real Madrid lined up?
Yeah.
They play Rodrigo and Vinicius up top.
They play the Ralph Rangnick way. They play a 2-2-2, a 4-2-2-2-2. Bring him back. I'm telling you, bring him back. Back to Ralph.
I said it a long time ago, and you started laughing.
Yeah. And for me, then, what I would like to see next week, more than anything else, besides goals, what I want to see more of next week is just intensity. I just want to see more intensity.
Who's your man of the match?
My man of the match, sorry, is Onana. Yeah, I mean, there's no question. I was happy with. I thought Wan-Bissaka played all right. Like Oisin said, our whole back line, I thought, done a pretty solid job, in fairness to him. Varane is just a Rolls Royce, in fairness to him.
I didn't see Shaw coming around Wan-Bissaka overlapped a lot more than Luke Shaw did.
Well, Wan-Bissaka is underlapping an awful lot. And that's clearly something that Ten Hag is working with him, because there was one stage where Marcus Rashford was running down the right-hand side, or the left-hand side, late on in the game, and he cuts the ball back to the left of the 6-yard box. And here was Wan-Bissaka standing there, like the opposite corner of the field to where he should normally be.
Well, Luke Shaw should have played in the first half. He got the ball, and Wan-Bissaka he was at almost like the penalty mark. And I think Luke Shaw looked up and said, "Oh, I'm not passing you the ball."
What's he doing in there?
No, you're not going to go. No. We're going to do something else. Because that's how Diego Dalot scored his goal against Dortmund in Vegas in the preseason, because he made that same run, because he's underlapping and he's in the middle of the pitch.
Yeah.
So I think that's it's a technique, but then Shaw's just not overlapping or doing anything on that side. You don't ever see Shaw running
dropping into the middle.
So, say that again, Lawrence.
Shaw was dropping into what Dalot does. He plays that hole in the midfielder beside Casemiro.
Yeah. Oh, he's gone. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you coming on. Thanks a mil, as usual. I hope you enjoyed it. It'll probably evolve a little bit more as the season go on.
You got to switch the red and the blue.
Got to switch the red and the blue. Oh yeah, yeah. We all know the reason why. Arsenal for Life says narrow win, just like ye yesterday against Nottingham Forest. I see you changed your username back to Arsenal for Life. Remember when you had it, Arsenal for Life Premier League winners 23 or 22, 23. Embarrassing. Anyway, thanks for coming on. Again, anybody else that's watching, guys, who's an official member, you can come on like the guys have, give your opinion after every match this season. We're doing the match reaction if you're an official member. If you want to become an official member, the link is in the description. And yeah, if we come up with some more ideas on some extra content throughout the season, by all means, let me know. I'll be happy to do it. But yeah, happy days, guys. Appreciate you coming on. And I suppose I will chat to you during the week. Take it easy.
Nice to meet you, Lawrence.
Nice to meet you too. See you.
Right, guys. So, oh yeah, sorry, I'm just going to do an outro. Sorry, just thanks everybody for watching. I do appreciate it. Hit the like and subscribe button if you're new to the channel. The usual, I suppose, positivity around it. United win 1-0. Not a great performance, but not even a great 3 points. 3 points on the board. Happy days. And yeah, we move on. So I think it's Spurs next week. But we'll be back throughout the week. Obviously, we're still involved in the transfer window. So we'll be back tomorrow night from 7:30 for the Transfer Talk show. The usual. Or actually, I think tomorrow night is podcast because we didn't do it tonight. So make sure you're liking and subscribing. Appreciate you. Thanks for watching. I'll chat to you tomorrow. Come on, United. Yup.